Welcome back to MTFC TV. Joining me this time is manager Paul Phillips. Paul, a trio of new signings tonight. Get you to talk us through them briefly. The first one, of course, Luke Daly coming in from Curzon Ashton. Can you tell us a little about him? What made you bring him to the club, that sort of thing?
It was a lad that we tracked for quite a while. He played for South Shield obviously last season. Very good ball playing midfielder. I think it's probably one thing that we have been short in there, so wanted to get on the ball and move the ball across the pitch. Comes with a good CV, played at higher level, obviously played for good teams. I had him short spell at Stalybridge where he did okay for me, but he'll bring a little bit of quality to that midfield and a little bit of guile when we probably need it, a little bit like Dan Greenfield brought hopefully. Just move the ball, bit tenacious, playing to the front man and go and join in. So hopefully it's a bit of a different kind of midfielder than Wilesy, Chippy and the other lads that we've got in there.
Is it a player you've been tracking for a while and the opportunity came open to bring him in?
Listen, we track a lot. We always look at people who are playing, who aren't playing. Obviously went to Curzon, started a few games, then was left out a couple of games. So we tested the water. We had a number of different targets. Luke was the best one at the time to take us forward. So for me, he comes in, he knows the standards that I want, he knows everything else that I want. He's played for me before, knows the lads. So we always look at the background as well as what he can do on the pitch.
Number two, of course, and much like Busters, Luke's come in pairs. Luke Hall joins us from Sheffield Club. Looked really good in training from what I saw. What was it about him that made you want to bring him to the club?
Well, to be fair, I've got to give Dennis Hobson quite a lot of accolades on this one. Obviously, he played with Jerome, so we knew him from obviously going to Sheffield. He's won the Player of the Month for Sheffield this month. Played at Guiseley. We spoke to Guiseley. I think they were quite keen to keep him, but he wanted to come in and be playing week in, week out. So, lucky enough, he's chosen ourselves. He can play as number 10. He can play out wide. He's got an eye for goal. Wants to get back in a professional game. So, if he can put all them things together, hopefully he can move on. He can move the club on, and it'll be a good acquisition.
Third and finally, a goalkeeper from Derby County, Alfie. You've seen a bit of him tonight. Have you liked what you've seen?
Yeah, we knew him anyway. We've seen him. Obviously, I think he played a little bit in pre-season here as well for Derby. But they've got some good keepers there. I thank all parties at that side. Obviously, losing Sean going into the FA Trophy next week is not ideal. We didn't really have a backup keeper. Also, we need to keep Coops on his toes, even though he's done really well in the games that he's come in. Clean sheet Saturday. I always like competition for places, and I feel that we always got to have two keepers to push each other and make sure that they don't go flat or they don't let the performance levels fall.
I know it's a sign that happened a few weeks back now, but I don't think we've had a chance to mention it. Your lad Finley coming in, he's. I know when I spoke to you, you said if you didn't feel he was good enough, you wouldn't have signed him. It's not a case of he's your lad. What do you feel he will bring? He's accomplished right back. Do you feel that is an area you lack?
Listen, he's not going to play much at the moment in time. He's still learning his trade. He's lost a year of football with the COVID because obviously he's only just turned 18. For me, last week he sort of got a little bit of a taste of it. He's trained with most of the time. Obviously he's played for New Mills as well. So I just feel that last week we just needed to. Listen, I had Craig King there, the other people there. I just felt like for what he'd put in training, what he'd give us, didn't let us down. Come on, did what we asked him to do, but. You've got to look at. They've got a lot of young lads. Even Luke. I think Luke Daly's only 24. The other Luke's 18. Reece is only just turned 22. If you look at the nucleus of the team, we've got a very, very young team. And listen, we want players like that. We want players that come in and want to go on and better themselves and getting back in the professional game because that helps us. That helps us that they want to better themselves. So again, Finley's a long line of people that we're trying to help to push on in a career.
And no better platform really than Matlock Town, as we've seen previously with lads. To finish things off, away trip this weekend, Morpeth Town.
Round the corner, innit? Round the corner.
Well, I believe put a few miles on notice, that's for sure. Is it one that you sort of, when you saw that calendar come out, one that you thought we've got a real game in our hands here?
It's one I thought, thank God it's on a Saturday, to be honest, when the fixtures come out. Never mind, I wouldn't have got back till Thursday morning if we'd have set off on Tuesday night. No, listen, it's an hard one. They've just changed the 4G. For me, they're in a false position. We had someone watching them the other week when they played Buxton and was unlucky not to take the 3 points at Buxton. Tough team. I think they won 4-0 the other night against Whitley Bay. So listen, it's a hard league. You've seen some of the teams down that bottom. I can't see Marper staying there for long because the quality they've got in the team. It's going to be one of the toughest games we've had all season, and obviously to take the trip into account as well, it's a massive ask for the lad, but one that we've got to start obviously taking the 3 points with the people catching up behind us and making sure we stay on our toes.
And the following week, we are back down here to face Marsk in the FA Trophy. What did you make of that draw? Do you know much about them? Have you had them watched already? And what you expect?
We're going to watch them at Bridlington on Tuesday. They play Bridlington, so that'll be another 80 days around the world. But no, listen, it's hard. Look at they beat Chester 4-0. They beat FC United this year. They beat Warrington. I think they beat quite a few teams that at the league above. It'll be a hard game. I think they couldn't be much harder tie, even though you look at the league below. I think obviously they're all set to come up. I don't think they've lost many games. I think they're second in that league with games in hand. So for me, it's going to be a tough tie. And we've seen when we don't take these ties where they should be against Belper and other teams, even Rushden the other week when we sort of didn't put the tie to bed, we nearly come unstuck. We've got to make sure we treat them with the respect they deserve, but also that we make sure that that they're coming into a game and we're top of our respective league.
Right, thank you very much for your time and best of luck Saturday.
Thank you.